Hey, and welcome to this third TypeScript tutorial series. So far we have seen what exactly TypeScript is, but mostly in theory. But here onwards, we are going to start understanding the core of the TypeScript and understanding the how to write the TypeScript code itself, right? So far, I don't have right at the moment. I don't have anything deep, any code written on my machine. Last time we tried something and tried convert valid.js works, right? So you don't want this. You can always, of course, for learning purpose, you can always use the online. And I'll be using this official the VS code the way that because this is how you're gonna use TypeScript daily, right? You cannot run the code here. You can run the code. I would recommend using it on your local machine. It's that heavy. In this video, we are actually gonna learn about the basics of TypeScript and how exactly you can write the statically typed code and how you can feed it to the compiler and all, right? So the basic data types in TypeScript are exactly same as JavaScript, because always remember it's just superset of JavaScript. It's a typed superset of JavaScript. So all the data types that are supported in the JavaScript are supported in the TypeScript. Okay. And just to give an example, when I'm gonna write this const, say username is equal to um give it any name, let's say uh rust say rusty, right? So when I'm gonna write a username like this, we know that in JS, if I check the type of username, I'll get string, right? TypeScript can leverage this information even if you are not declaring a type of username, right? If you remember from the first video, in statically typed languages, you have to declare the type of variable. And I also told you that JS is not statically typed, where we don't declare the type of variable. On the other hand, in statically typed languages, we declare type of variable something like this. Okay, the syntax could be different, but somehow you have to declare the type. So where is the type here, right? If TypeScript is statically typed and it needs the type of a variable, and I'm not declaring the type here, so how is this working? How TypeScript is able to compile this code into valid JavaScript? The reason for that is something called as inference. Ignore the spelling, but what does that mean is basically TypeScript is able to derive the type of variable from its use case. Right here, I'm on the right hand side, I'm assigning a string to it. Based on the assignment, TypeScript is able to check the type of variable. It's a bit in depth. It's a bit more complicated than that, but overall inference work like that. It will see the value that is assigned to const is a string. So TypeScript will automatically know that it's a the username's type is string, and so on. Like you can use it for any other variable or any other data type, but now this will be a number, right? Age is a number here. So but there is still a way to declare the variable, which is not recommended for smaller variables like the primitive data types, but you still can use it, right? The way that you can declare a type of a variable is by writing colon and then the constructor name of that type from JavaScript in small case, in lowercase, right? Like a string. The colon string will declare the type of username as string forever, right? Here onwards, TypeScript will be confident forever that doesn't matter what is the right hand side assignment, I know the variable type is a string because I am declaring it as a string, right? And same goes for any other primitive type. So age is number, and if you guess, like if I want to declare, let's say boolean is married, I'll be able to do it like, right? And this way you'll be able to you'll be able to tell TypeScript what is the intent of your variable is, what is exactly you want to store in it. You're telling TypeScript that I want to store a boolean in this variable is married, but what you're storing is one, and TypeScript is immediately screaming at you that type number is not assignable to type boolean, right? So this is how you can assign some basic types to your TypeScript, any variable. This works exactly same way in functions as well, which we'll just see in a minute. But once you do this, you can run again the npm npx tsc. You can create a script for this as well, doesn't matter. Index.ts, feed this file to tsc compiler. It will generate the valid output for you, right? You see, these are these are just a plain JavaScript variables. You can run them anywhere, right? So there is a if you have both the files open, this bug is in VS Code. It's not exactly, it's not TypeScript related. If you close this file, it will go away. So it's a bug in VS Code somehow, and they haven't fixed it for a long time, so ignore that. So this is how you can use the type assignment yourself, the declaration of the type, right? And the TypeScript after this will be able to derive the use, instead of checking the type from use case, it will be able to confidently tell what is the type of variable is, right? So just to give you an example, now I won't be able to use any the string methods on age, like let's say split, right? I know that age is a number, so TypeScript will be able to tell me only the number prototype methods on it, right? Nothing else. You cannot say split here like that, which you will never know in JavaScript, and like this. So things like that, TypeScript is going to help you in basics, making small mistakes. If you don't want to just while we are at it, if you don't want to run this command every single time you change the code, you can create a build script for a watch script for that, something like watch, and give it a name tsc watch, and give the file name to it, text.ts. Right? If you run this npm run watch, it will keep your index.ts, it will keep compiling your index.ts in watch mode, and as soon as you save the file, it will convert it to valid JavaScript. Right? Just to show you another example, so if I do console.log username, save it, it says file change detected, 0 errors. And if I make some error, let's say let's print array plus array, which is valid JS code. I'm sure you must have seen this in many examples, but this is not a valid TS code, because you should not add arrays like that. It will result in a string, right? So operator plus cannot be applied to type undefined array and undefined array. This is the type of the array, right? So I'm going to close that, and you see the output is still generated, but it's telling you that it's not correct, and you should not use that. It will not work the way you're intending it to work, right? Now I have changed I have fixed the error. There is no more error, and the output is still valid, right? So this is about the variable. There are other variables as well, the other primitive types as well, just like bigint and symbol and all. They will work the exact same way as you are expecting it to work. As long as you're writing it after colon type name, it will work, right? Now, how do you actually use this with function, right? Let's say if I have a function and I want to give, let's say, is eligible. I want to take the age. I don't want to check if person is eligible for license or not. It's something like if age is greater than 18, return true. Okay. Else return false. Now, of course, there is a shorter way to achieve this, but I'm just writing verbose code for now. So I want to check this, and you will write something logic, something like this. Now, if you hover on it, it says parameter age implicitly has an any type. Now, what does that mean is TypeScript will not know what is the type the age variable accepts, right? Because I'm not declaring. If I want to call this is eligible console.log, you see, I can call it like this by passing age to it, but no one is stopping at the moment by calling it like this as well. No one is stopping me, right? Because TypeScript doesn't know that age is supposed to be number or a string or boolean or what. And this is where you can also declare you can tell TypeScript that my age is supposed to be a number. And if I do this, now TypeScript knows that is eligible function is only supposed to accept a number, right? Which is age. it's not supposed to accept username. If I pass it to it, username cannot be greater than 18. This will result in an error. The TypeScript will stop me from doing such mistakes, right? So this is how you can declare the type of variables that a function can accept. You can keep on adding more and more variable names like this. There is a way to make this shorter as well, which we'll see in the next video. So this is how you can accept the parameters. But what about what a function returns? If you hover on it, is eligible, the TypeScript is telling me that is eligible, accept age, which is type of number. But there is something after that as well. If you notice this, is eligible colon boolean. What does that mean? Is eligible function accepts an age, but it returns boolean as well. Now how was TypeScript able to infer this type? The reason for that is you are returning. TypeScript knows that there is only two returns in this function. There is no other things can happen. It will either return true or it will return false. There is no other way. There is no undefined, right? Age can either be greater than 18 or it cannot be greater than 18. There are only two possible outcomes of this. So is eligible function, TypeScript knows that doesn't matter how you are calling this is eligible, as long as you are passing a number to it, it will 100% return a boolean to you. And this is exactly why TypeScript is able to infer this boolean, the type of is eligibles return, so that you can use it like anywhere like this, wherever you want to use booleans like this. Console.log person is eligible, like this. You can use that, right? Otherwise, if you want to declare, because remember there will be complicated cases, this is very straightforward case that TypeScript is able to identify, but there will be complicated case that's in cases where the TypeScript will not be able to identify what a function is returning. In those cases, you can declare the return type yourself, just like you are declaring the type of variables. So function accepts something and returns something. So between opening and opening bracket of the function expression, you can write the return type of the function, whatever the type function is returning. It's boolean, so I'm writing boolean here. Now TypeScript will be able to identify the same way, but now it will be like confident about it, right? It does not have to check infer the type of the every single return, right? And you can still use it the same way. So if I save this, there will not be any errors, and I can check it like this: is eligible, let's say equal to true or something like that. Any other operation you want to check on, but of course this doesn't make sense, but any other operation you want to do on booleans, right? So this is how you can accept the variables and return accept the type of variables and return some specific type from a function. This works the same way on function expression as well. So if you want to write let's say take any example, capitalize name is a function which takes name and returns name dot to uppercase. Right now, if you see, the TypeScript is not able to tell me what is if the to uppercase method exists on name or not. The reason for that is doesn't know the type of name. If you hover on it, it says name is any. The parameter name implicitly has an any type. We don't want that. We want to define the type, and we can define it like this. So name of type string. Now TypeScript will be able to tell me the methods that are available on this. If I write like this, I'll be able to call this capitalized name with username. There will not be any. Ultimately, we see code that is generated will be still valid JavaScript code. Okay, so this is all for this video. In the next video, we're going to learn about a little bit complicated types and how you can combine the types and create, interfaces and your own types, custom types and all. Thank you for joining. I'll see you guys next time.